Mariana Tavares, a 28-year-old woman of Cape Verdean origin, had been working for 3 years as a waitress at Café Primavera, a traditional establishment located in Lisbon. With her warm smile and admirable efficiency, she was appreciated by regular customers, but she had never managed to win over Mr. Joachim, the bad-tempered manager who had taken over the cafe's management 6 months earlier. One rainy November afternoon, as Lisbon was covered in a grey veil, the cafe was almost empty. Mariana was tidying some tables when the door opened. A middle-aged man entered hastily, trying to escape the pouring rain. Despite the hat and dark coat, Mariana immediately recognized him. It was Tony Carriera, one of Portugal's most popular singers. The artist sat at a discreet table in the back of the cafe, looking worried as he repeatedly checked his phone. Mariana approached with professionalism, though her heart was racing. "Good afternoon, sir. What would you like to have?" she asked, trying to maintain composure. Tony Carriera looked up, smiled politely, and ordered a coffee, but Mariana noticed the anguish in his expression. As she prepared his order, she heard him on the phone, clearly distressed. "What do you mean the concert's been cancelled? It's for charity, for sick children. I can't just let them down." When Mariana returned with the coffee, she found the singer with his head in his hands. He explained, almost without thinking, that his sound equipment had been held up at customs due to a bureaucratic error. The charity concert for the pediatric hospital was scheduled for the following night. "I'm sorry to burden you with this," he said, "but I don't know what to do. Everyone I know is either unavailable or too expensive for a charity event." Mariana bit her lip, hesitant. Her younger brother Cesar was a sound technician and had recently started a small business with quality equipment. She knew he'd be thrilled at the chance to work with Tony Carriera, and more importantly, to help the children. "Mr. Carriera," she said timidly, "my brother has a small sound equipment company. It's small but professional. I'm sure he could help you, and probably wouldn't even charge, given the cause." The singer's eyes lit up. "Really? That would be a lifesaver." Mariana quickly called her brother, who agreed immediately. They arranged for Cesar to meet Tony Carriera at the cafe within half an hour to discuss the detail. While Mr. Joachim was in the back of the cafe, talking to suppliers, Mariana served Tony a cinnamon cake on the house. She said, with a smile. 30 minutes later, Cesar arrived, soaked but beaming with excitement at meeting the famous singer. The three of them chatted animatedly about the concert's technical setup. That's when Mr. Joachim emerged from the kitchen, his face twisted with anger at seeing Mariana seemingly socializing instead of working, and worse, giving away food for free. "Mariana, my office, now." Mr. Joachim's office was a cramped cubicle at the back of the cafe, with yellowed walls from years of cigarette smoke. He slammed the door behind Mariana, eyes furious. "What do you think you're doing? Giving out free cakes? Bringing family into the workplace? This isn't a community center." Mariana tried to explain the exceptional situation, that it was Tony Carriera, that it was a charity concert for sick children, and that the cake only cost a few euros. But Mr. Joachim didn't care. "I don't care if it was the President of the Republic. Rules are rules, and it's not the first time I've seen you giving special treatment to certain customers." It was true that Mariana occasionally offered hot tea to Mr. Alberto, an elderly man who spent mornings in the cafe because his house lacked heating, or saved bread for Mrs. Rosa, a pensioner who came at the end of the day when prices dropped, but she always did it discreetly and never affected the cafe's profits. "You're fired," declared Mr. Joachim coldly. "Clear out your locker and leave today." Mariana felt tears welling up, but refused to cry in front of him. With trembling hands, she gathered her belongings into a small bag, a mug her colleagues had gifted her for her birthday, a photo of her family in Cape Verde, a scarf left behind by a customer over a year ago. When she exited the office, Tony and Cesar had already left, probably uncomfortable with the situation. Her colleagues looked at her with a mix of sympathy and embarrassment, but none dared to oppose the manager's decision. Mariana stepped into the street, where the rain continued to fall relentlessly. Only then did she allow the tears to flow freely, mingling with the raindrops on her face. Her shared apartment in Arroyos consumed almost her entire modest salary, and she knew finding another job quickly would be difficult. Christmas was approaching, and she had promised to send money to her grandmother in Cape Verde. She was so lost in thought, she didn't notice the car pulling up beside her until she heard a familiar voice call her name. "Mariana, please get in." It was Tony Carriera. Sitting behind the wheel of his Mercedes, he looked at her with genuine concern. "Your brother told me what happened. I feel terribly responsible." Mariana got in, overwhelmed by a mix of shame and strength she didn't know she had. Tony smiled kindly. "You know, the concert is tomorrow night at the Teatro Maria Matos. Please come. I want to thank you properly for what you did." Though a concert ticket was a luxury she could hardly justify in her situation, she returned home and found Cesar on the phone, excitedly discussing technical details of the event. When he hung up, he hugged his sister tightly. "He's amazing, Mariana. So humble and professional. He said he's going to mention our company at the concert." Mariana smiled, happy for her brother, though concern still lingered in her eyes. Cesar noticed immediately. "You'll find something better, sis. That cafe didn't deserve you." That night, Mariana struggled to sleep, tossing and turning, worried about bills and the uncertain future. But deep in her heart, she had no regrets about helping Tony Carriera. Some decisions, even costly ones, are simply the right thing to do. The following afternoon, Mariana received a text message from an unknown number. "At the entrance of Teatro Maria Matos, there's a ticket reserved in your name. It's important that you come. Tony Carriera." Hesitant but curious, Mariana decided to go. She wore her best outfit, a simple but elegant navy blue dress she saved for special occasions, and took the metro to the theater. At the box office, a staff member smiled upon hearing her name. "Ah, Mariana Tavares. Mr. Carrera left specific instructions. Here's your VIP ticket." Confused, Mariana was led not to the audience seats, but backstage. There, she found Cesar, beaming with pride as he adjusted the sound equipment. "You came. This is amazing. Tony really wanted you here." Before she could ask why, a production assistant approached her. "Mariana, Tony would like to speak with you before the show." In the dressing room, the singer greeted her with a warm hug. "I'm so glad you came. Your brother's equipment is excellent. We had the best technical rehearsal in months." Mariana smiled. "I'm just happy to see him getting recognized. Thank you for giving him this opportunity." "Please, call me Tony," he said. "And I haven't properly thanked you yet. Without your help, this concert for the children wouldn't be happening." He paused, as if choosing his next words carefully. "I have a favor to ask. During the concert, I'd like you to come on stage for a moment. You don't have to say anything. Just be there. Can I count on you?" Perplexed, Mariana agreed, though she didn't understand why. The theater was packed. In the front row, Mariana recognized familiar faces from Portuguese society and directors from the pediatric hospital. She also saw several children with their families, some clearly undergoing medical treatment, their faces lit with excitement. Tony Carrera took the stage to enthusiastic applause. After singing some of his biggest hits, he signaled for the volume to be lowered. "Tonight, we're here for a special cause," he said into the microphone. "These children deserve the best care, the best equipment, and above all, hope. He shared with the audience the issue with the sound equipment and how the concert was nearly cancelled until something extraordinary happened. A young waitress, who didn't even know me personally, decided to help. And because of that act of kindness, she lost her job. A murmur spread through the crowd. "Mariana, could you come up here?" Heart pounding, Mariana stepped onto the stage, feeling hundreds of eyes on her. "This young woman," Tony continued, placing an arm around her shoulders, "represents the best of Portugal: generosity, selflessness, courage. And it's people like her who inspire us to build a fairer country where kindness is rewarded, not punished." The crowd erupted in warm applause. Mariana felt tears stream down her face, this time tears of joy. But the story wasn't over yet. "I and some incredible people have a surprise for you," Tony said, with a mysterious smile. He gestured to the wings of the stage, and to Mariana's astonishment, two people walked out: a poised woman in her 50s and a tall, distinguished-looking man. "Mariana, this is Ana Sofia Mendez, director of the Avenida Palace Hotel, and Miguel Duarte, executive chef of the hotel restaurant." Confused, Mariana shook their hands shyly. Ana Sofia addressed the crowd, and Mariana, "When Tony told us your story, we were deeply moved. After a little research, we discovered that besides being an excellent waitress, you're studying hospitality management at night." Mariana's eyes widened. Surprised they knew that detail. Avenida Palace values people with character, dedication, and the ability to put others first. Exactly the qualities you demonstrated. So we'd like to offer you a position on our team, with a higher salary and a schedule that allows you to continue your studies. The audience erupted into applause. Mariana covered her mouth in disbelief. But the surprises weren't over. Miguel Duarte stepped forward. "And more than that, Mariana, once you complete your degree, we have a managerial internship reserved for you. Your act of kindness revealed the kind of leadership we're looking for." Tony smiled at Mariana's shocked, grateful, joyful expression. Then one last person took the stage, a 10-year-old girl wearing a colorful headscarf, clearly undergoing cancer treatment. She held a large bouquet of flowers. "Hi, I'm Matilda," she said into the microphone, her voice small but determined. "I have leukemia, and it's for kids like me that this concert is happening. I just wanted to say thank you, Mariana, for helping Tony sing for us. These flowers are for you." There wasn't a dry eye in the theater. Mariana gently hugged Matilda, tears streaming freely down her face. "The world works in mysterious ways," Tony said, as Mariana accepted the flowers. "Sometimes we lose something important to gain something even better. And sometimes a small act of kindness sets off a wave of good things we could never have imagined." In the front row, Mariana spotted a familiar face: Mr. Joachim, her former manager. He looked uncomfortable, avoiding everyone's gaze, clearly regretting his hasty decision upon seeing the public recognition Mariana was receiving. 3 months later, Mariana was fully adapted to her new life at the Avenida Palace. The work was demanding but rewarding, and her supervisors truly valued her effort and dedication. Her grades had improved, and for the first time, she was able to send enough money to significantly support her family in Cape Verde. Her brother Cesar's sound equipment business gained fame after the concert and began receiving orders from artists and producers across the country. One sunny spring Sunday, on her day off, Mariana strolled through Chiado and decided to visit her old workplace, Café Primavera. To her surprise, it had been renovated, with a warmer atmosphere and new management. The young waitress who served her explained that Mr. Joachim had been replaced after multiple complaints from staff and customers. The cafe now had a new policy. Once a week, they offered free meals to low-income elderly residents in the neighborhood. As she left the cafe, Mariana smiled to herself. Sometimes a door closes so that many others can open. Her act of kindness hadn't just changed her life. It had sparked a wave of generosity that continued to ripple outward like circles in a calm pond. That evening, she received a message from Tony Carriera. "How's everything going?" Mariana replied with a simple sentence that summed up her journey. "Life taught me that kindness is never wasted, only multiplied."